Good afternoon, welcome. Kamsamida and Annyeonghaseyo, which is hello in Korean, and I apologise for my pronunciation already. I'm Rory McAllister. Welcome to the 52nd ISSF World Championships here in Changwon. What a World Championships it's been so far, and it's still only day 3. We've got the next final for you. The 10-metre air pistol mixed team is coming up, and my guest commentator this afternoon is Lexi Lagan from USA Shooting. Hello.
Hi.
All the way from Nevada.
Yes, all the way out from Vegas, so it's a long way out here, but I'm so excited to be here.
It is. Now, I'm on an 8-hour time difference being from the UK, so yours is
it's about
then...
13, yeah, about 13 hours from where I'm currently living at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs.
And it's been a nice summer for you?
Yeah, it's been a beautiful summer back in Colorado Springs, and it's just starting to get cold, so I'm excited to be home.
Well, it's a beautiful part of the USA, and you're very welcome this afternoon, Lexi. So here we go then. The introductions are just taking place by our announcer, Jamie Stangroom. The first athletes and team on firing points A1 and A2 representing India are India Team 1. We've got Abhinav Ashok Patil and Chowdhury Saurabh, who make up the lineup. 19 years old and 16 years old respectively. It's incredible how young some of the Indian shooters are. Moving on to the next team, Korea Team 1, which is Shu Gaeun and Song Yoonho. 17 years old and 18 years old. Song Yoonho was 6th in the World Championships in Seoul. That was last year, 2017. So C1 and C2 representing the Russian Federation. Two very talented young shooters. 18-year-old Nashida Koloda, along with her teammate, and that's Mr. Anton Aristakov, who's now 19 and a half years old. Not quite the eldest in this tournament, in this particular final. That's still to come. Koloda was 6th in Seoul in the World Championships last year, and Aristakov has 2 gold medals as a junior at the European Championships. That was this year in 2018 and last year 2017. So the home nation, Republic of Korea, big cheer for them here in the finals hall as well, and I'm not surprised. 19-year-old Yoo Hwan-seong and Im Ho-jin, who won a silver as a junior at the Junior World Cup in Seoul this year, if you were there to witness that. India Team 2, Devashina Rana, who's now 19, was 4th in Sydney earlier on this year at the Junior World Cup, and her teammate Amol is the eldest in this final. He's just shy of 20 years old, 19 years old, 11 months and 28 days. There was Sharon Reynolds being introduced as the jury member in charge. And there's Park Ki-rim, who's been the Chief Range Officer for pretty much all of these finals so far this week. We are on day 3 now of the World Championships, and it's just been absolutely superb. Now, if you missed the final earlier on today, the 10-metre air pistol women's event, what a finish. I won't spoil it for you unless you haven't seen it, but you can watch it back on the ISSF YouTube channel. Also, if you follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and look for the hashtag ISSF as well. There's also plenty of Chinese media surrounding this particular World Championships. We've got Youku, which is the Chinese YouTube, and Weibo, which is Twitter as well. There's exclusive content there as well for interviews with some of the Chinese athletes. So here we go then, we're just settling in. Lexi Lagan of USA Shooting is my guest this afternoon.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this lineup so far?
No, India is going to be, I think, a fearsome battle with some of our Koreans down here, just because with Chowdhury coming in with a 390 out of all of those individual scores, that's competitive on an open level. And 16 10Xs out of that, I think he's going to be really fierce.
I mean, 390, that's really impressive, isn't it? I mean, it's, and considering, again, like the Chinese teams, the Indians really do come in young as well.
Yeah.
And very, very impressive, even in their junior days. Quota places at stake, as with most of these finals here at the World Championships. And thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Now, if you're new to shooting, or this is the first time you've ever watched shooting on your screens, then this is how it's going to work. There's going to be 3 series of 5 shots in this final. That's 5 shots per athlete, so that's going to be 10 per team. And then it'll move into a single shot series where the teams start to be eliminated, and as we move to the medal stages. And as it gets to that stage of the final, then we'll talk you through that.
Yes, and the strategy that you have to use for these team matches is quite unique. A lot of people think, oh, it's just hopping up on the line just like any other final, but with having to shoot with your left-hand side shooter first and then your right-hand side shooter second, making sure that your timing is just right so that way you're not cutting one person short or stressing out the first shooter is really hard. My teammate and I have been working on that for all of this season, all of this World Cup season, and it's still a work in progress. Definitely something exciting.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of concentration, isn't there, that's needed. Thank you very much to our team here as well. I've just been informed that no quota places are at stake for this final, so thank you very much to our team working on this transmission and programme for you this afternoon. The local time here in Changwon is just coming up to 2:45 or 2:45. If you prefer to read the clock in that particular denomination. So Lexi, I mean, again, as you've been saying, the shooters in front of us, there's a discipline not only in preparation for this final, but discipline actually in the final itself. As you say, left shooter goes first. There's a lot to take in, a lot to focus on.
Yeah, and you have to make that decision of whether you're going to lift at the same time as your partner or if you're going to try and coordinate it so that way as they're finishing their shot, you begin your lift. Personally, I'm a right-hand shooter, so I shoot after my partner shoots. And he and I have coordinated it so that way as he is starting to settle into his shot, which is when you're really starting to aim at the actual target, is when I begin my lift. So as we're seeing down on the field, Anmol right now just started his lift. He's settling in, he's holding. And eventually, once he starts his follow-through, Reina will begin her lift. You have to coordinate that just right so that way you're not rushing one shooter or taking too long for the other. And you have to make sure that you don't, you're paying attention to if your partner actually breaks their shot or not, because if they don't break their shot, you could lift and take your shot and then you shoot out of sequence, which is a 2-point penalty, and that's huge in these finals.
And that's what you don't want. I mean,
No.
we very rarely see that kind of thing, but it does and has happened.
Oh, and I'm sure with all the stress that these juniors probably have on them at the World Championships, it's something that could very well happen here.
And this is a big stage for them as well, isn't it? A competition like this, you know, only really comes around every 4 years. There's the Olympics, of course, in 2 years' time. And as a junior as well, with the competition being every 4 years, you kind of sort of luck of the draw really as to when your age actually, you know, hits in between
if you're at the prime level at these special tournaments like this, and hopefully some of these juniors will start to be able to age into the open tournaments as well right at the Olympics. That would be ideal for a lot of them. However, in the case of like Chowdhury being only 16, he still has another 4 years, so he could very well be looking at the next World Championships.
This is exactly what I meant as well. You know, you hit a bit of prime even at 16, and which means you then got almost another chance by the time you're still only 20. So the first series has now concluded. It's Korea Team 1 who are leading the way, which will be pleasing this home crowd here at Changwon. Korea Team 2 in second position. Not much between the teams at the moment. The Russian Federation find themselves in third, and then surprisingly, really, even at this stage, the 2 Indian teams in fourth and fifth position, although you never really know what's going to happen in shooting, but I would expect perhaps one of the Indian teams to improve their position. So Lexi, you're literally one series in, you're now moving to the next series. What sort of things going through your mind at the moment?
So I know when I was in my final with Nick back at the USA World Cup, our second series was really kind of where we started to play into each other. We both got our nerves all out, and so this is when we really started to narrow in on our tens, and we built quite a bit. it's that third series where I think that people start getting a little bit more nervy just because you're thinking about, okay, I'm coming in the 5th position, or I'm coming in the 1st position. I need to make sure I maintain my spot or build up on my spot. So for me, the 2nd series of 5 was easy peasy. A little bit more relaxing.
You make it sound so easy. It's not until you actually have a go at shooting that you realise how difficult it actually is.
Oh, yeah. No, I tried my hand at trap the other day, and that was exciting. These shooters all have had so much training and have dedicated so much time to perfecting their stance, their lift, how they're settling in with their shoulders. As you see, there's different techniques. Russia is a little bit more relaxed, whereas one of our Korean shooters is a little bit tighter up on her shoulder.
And some raise the pistol right up, don't they? Almost then at a 45-degree angle, and then go back to the lower, whereas some shooters just prefer to just raise. To the
and I think a lot of that will come from how they're training. If they're training a second discipline, like women's sport pistol, I know that there are some shooters that shoot their precision as if they were shooting rapid fire, where they just lift right into it and get after it. Personally, I can't do that. I like to train those very separately, but no, there's some that will lift really, really high and then slowly settle their shoulders back into their shoulder blades, whereas others will use a little bit more of that arm muscle out into your like biceps and triceps to hold the gun a little bit steadier. And I think it really depends too on how comfortable you are with your back. For me, I stand a little bit straighter. As you can see, some of these shooters are leaning a little bit more back, and that will make a big difference in how steady you are, that is.
Well, the Korean crowd are loving this final so far, and rightly so, because it's their 2 teams, Korea 1 and 2, that still lead the competition. Still fairly early days, but as Lexi's been saying, sometimes throughout the 2nd series is when you, almost like a moulding clay, you do start to see the final sort of taking some sort of shape.
Yeah, you start to see which teams are going to start really pushing through and which teams are struggling a little bit more.
I mean, already there's almost a 10-point gap between the Russian Federation, which obviously has now been narrowed now that they've now shot. They're in 5th position at the minute on a total of 169.3. Meanwhile, Korea Team 1 lead on 170.7.
Yes, and the number of 10s that Korea Team 1 is putting up is impressive. They're nice and deep. They're not scratch 10s, except for I think that's a 9-9 out there, but that's still very impressive for a match like this. Just put up another 10-4.
Well, the Vuvuzelas being honked through the final. I seem to remember the popularity of those rows at the FIFA World Cup in 2010 back in South Africa. It was almost the point where you couldn't even hear what was going on in the actual football match or soccer match, as perhaps it's also known internationally. We've seen some great crowds, though, throughout the week so far here at the World Championships. And the hospitality so far has been amazing, not only from the athletes' point of view, but certainly from anyone in the media team like myself. So the 2nd series now drawing to a close, and here's how it looks. It's still Korea Team 1 and 2 who are in front. 200.8 is the top score at the moment. The Russian Federation are still in 3rd. Sorry, beg your pardon, they've moved down to 5th, and the Indian teams have now raised their game. India Team 2 up to 3rd, and India Team 1 now up to 4th position. So I did mention earlier on that they could start to creep up the scoreboard. It doesn't surprise me, although there is a 5.7 gap already between Korea Team 2 and Korea Team 1. That's incredible, even to have a gap that big.
Yeah,
at this stage.
Those gaps are, you can either take advantage of those or use those to really weaken yourself. You can see that gap and say, oh, I'm fine, and relax a little bit too much into the next series. and maybe have a couple of those scratch nines, those 9-9s, and just not really be in there. Or you can take that as, I'm doing good, I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing and continue this really great progress that I'm making.
This is it, because sometimes it becomes, rather than trying to gain a position, it becomes trying to defend it.
Yeah. Nope. And I mean, we're seeing that Russia just shot that 10-8, trying to come back into it. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, meanwhile, we had a 7.4 from India Team 1 as well. There was, see, some nerves creeping in as well.
Yeah.
India Team 2 have also been shooting in the 8 ring. And there's another shot in the 8 ring as well. So the occasion perhaps getting to some of these young athletes. I'm not surprised. I mean, this is a big stage for them.
This is really exciting, and the nerves could really get you. Oh, that's a much better recovery from Miss Patil. Shot a 10-8 after that 7. No, sometimes 7s like that are a little bit high and up are just from pushing, which is what you do when you're trying to make it a 10 instead of just letting it be a 10. And I've had my fair share of those pushed shots before, so seeing that, I understand where she's coming from.
Do you find as well, though, Lexi, that when you are maybe pushing for the 10, like you've just said, that it always goes in the 7?
Probably not the 7. Sometimes I just see it being a little bit of even just a high 10 that's over in that corner where I'm just trying a little bit too hard. But, I mean, she relaxed into it, and that next shot was just where she wanted it to be. So I think if she can maintain that mindset, she'll be able to do a lot better in the next couple shots.
Now you're just seeing on your screen just there what our spectators are seeing in the finals hall. We have big LED screens above us, not only above the actual shooters themselves, but also above the spectators as well. So
we just had a 10-9 from Russia too. First half, I think.
Is that the first 10-9 of the final?
I think so. Because so far, I think we've only seen 10-8s. So that's great to see from Russia. But it was followed up at that 8-0. And that's difficult too, having to rely so much on your partner and make sure that, you're both in that right mindset. I know with Nick and I, we try and we talk on the line a little bit, just that way we both understand where we are and try and keep our moods light, so that way we're enjoying the final rather than stressing ourselves out. Another deep 10 from Korea.
It's almost as if we're just experiencing a bit of a lull almost in this final so far. The crowd is quietened down for the moment as we pretty much move to the middle stages of this final. This will be the last series of 5 shots, and then we'll move into a series of single shots, and that's not bad.
Nice 10-8 to finish off that series.
That's a great way.
Make you feel comfortable.
It will indeed. It will indeed, and certainly good for the confidence booster. So 3 series of 5 shots down now then in this final. It's still Korea Team 1 and Korea Team 2 who are in first and second position. That gap's getting bigger though, Lexi, 6.9. And then another huge gap, 6 points between India Team 2 and Korea Team 2. India Team 1 are in 4th position. They're only 0.7 behind. And the Russian Federation, despite that 10.9 in the last series, it was followed up by an 8. And that means they find themselves in 5th position.
Yeah. No, and it would seem right now it's just a battle for that 3rd place position, but you never know. In finals like this, 7s come up much more unexpected. And often than we probably would like. Oh, and we just saw Russia is kind of doing that method where while the first shooter is holding and waiting for the shot to break, the second shooter begins their lift and starts settling in, so that way they still have plenty of time to take their shot or set down and come back into it if they need to.
Yeah, it's almost like surfing on the rules, isn't it, of the actual timer clock.
Yeah, you really have to be careful to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time, but you're not rushing your partner if you're that second shooter. It's a fine line.
So a couple of 10.6s in India Team 1.
So some 10.6s there across the board. It's still Korea Team 1 who lead after that last series of single shots. There'll be another 2 shots per team. And then we'll have the first elimination from this final. At the moment, it looks like Indian Team 2, they're in 5th position, and they are 2.2 behind the Russian Federation, who have moved up to 4th position from 5th. Still no change at the top, though. It's Korea Team 1 and Korea Team 2, 1st and 2nd, and India Team 1.
No, but Korean Team 2 did drop their lead a little bit with an 8 that they just shot. So it's going to be a little bit tighter, but they still have, I think, a 4-point gap.
Well, the lowest score across the board, a 9.7 so far. There's a 9.4 from the Russian Federation. A great 10.8 from India Team 1. That's a terrific shot at this stage of the final.
There we go.
And there we have it. We now have our first elimination from this final. Taking 5th position then, India Team 2.
India Team 2.
They still have a team left. They were 2.2 behind the Russian Federation. They leave this final on 324.9. But to be honest, finishing 5th in a World Championship final, it's not a bad day's work.
Not at all. They should be very proud of the work that they've done.
The Russian Federation in 4th place. They were in 5th throughout the series, but moved up into 4th, breathing down the necks of India Team 1. We had the highest individual score, actually, from India Team 1 during that.
So Korea Team 1 lead with a sizable gap too. 342.4 is their total from their fellow countrymen and countrywomen. Korea Team 2 on 333.5.
I think this is where the nerves really start to kick in, worrying about that 4th place finish or the 3rd place finish. Are you going to make it on that podium or just barely off of it?
Because this is it. It can be the cruelest place to finish, can't it? 4th. You've got
so close.
The qualification
and yet so far.
process. Yeah, you get to the final.
Just hurts.
This series of shots started with a 6.9 gap between the 2 Korean teams at the top of the scoreboard.
Russia's really fighting for it. Oh. And with that 8.8 from India, that's rough.
So Korea Team 1.
So Korea Team 1 maintain their lead. They're defending it well too.
They're not going to let that go at all. And see, that's where you make that difference of if you're going to take that lead and run with it, or if you're going to let that relax you. And they really have just sprinted off with it. It's an impressive win for them coming up, especially on home turf like this. It'll be very exciting.
So to the left of your screen there, that's Kolodar and Aristakov of the Russian Federation, as Lexi was saying, putting up a real decent fight to stay in this final. Meanwhile, the remaining Indian team, India Team 1 with Patil and Chauba, are doing their best to maintain third position.
Oh, wow.
A 10.8 from Korea Team 2. Great shot at this time of the competition, even though there is still an 8.7 gap between Korea Team 1 at the top and Korea Team 2. The next eliminated team, though, is the Russian Federation. Koloda and Aristakov leave this final.
And it was so close, too.
And as we were saying, a very tough place to finish fourth. You get the whole way here to the World Championship final. You go home without a medal. But you can take some pride, and you can certainly take some experience from it, too.
No, and this experience they'll be able to use for the next few years leading up to the Olympics. That will be so great for them.
2 more shots now until the bronze medal will be decided.
So this is it, moving to the medal stages. As we've been saying, some of it's looking like a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
I mean, you still never know in shooting, but this is looking likely as if it could finish as it is at the moment.
Well, and especially with these team matches, there's even the chance that person number 2 might not get their shot off. Or if you shoot out of order, you could get a 2-point penalty. That's significant in these finals, even with a lead as large as Korea's right now.
So let's see what the lowest score is then. We've had a 9.7, a 10.4 and a 10.6. Very impressive shooting from the 2 Korean teams. India perhaps just feeling the nerves a little bit. A 9.9, it's not going to be good enough. A 9.8 from Korea Team 1 and a 10.4 from Korea Team 2. So it's looking increasingly likely. It's almost, I wouldn't say exact dead cert, but it's looking very likely that India Team 1 will leave with a bronze medal.
That will be so exciting for these juniors, though, to go home with that.
And as Lexi's been saying, you still never know, but we will soon find out. Just feel the silence across the finals hall. There's just been brilliant atmospheres here, whether or not it's been quiet like this and you feel the tension, or whether or not there's been whooping and cheering across the finals hall with the excitement of what people are witnessing here at the World Championships.
You can feel the intensity from everyone just watching these shooters. You have to wonder if the shooters are feeling it too.
They must be. I think certainly Team India 1 are. And even just a slight slip up from Korea Team 1 there with a 9.8.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a world
So we have the first medal of this World Championship final in the 10-meter air pistol mixed team. Chaudhry Saurabh of India Team 1 and Amnishna Ashok Patil walk away with the bronze medal.
3 shots remaining until the gold medal will be decided, and for the second time on the trot, Korea Team 2 have betted.
I did say at the beginning of this final that I did think they would creep into the medals somewhere.
No, and almost a 10-point difference between the two. That's really impressive. Korean Team 1's really got their finals mental game on right now.
Yeah, they are 7.3 in front. Now, it's slightly different in the closing stages of this final because we have 3 sets of 2 shots per team to decide the gold and silver. So there is time to catch up and close that gap. But Korea Team 1 have been looking so strong throughout this final. It's going to take a minor miracle, I think, here for Korea Team 2 to creep up. And even there you have it, Korean Team 2 with a 9.2. Meanwhile, a whole point better from Korea Team 1 with a 10.2.
Yep, and that really makes a difference if that 9's going to be a 9.9 or if it's out there on the 9.2 area, or even a 10.1. Oh, wow.
So Korea versus Korea continues.
So the Chief Ranger Officer has called stop, and it's still a battle between the home nations. Korean Team 1 still lead 442.6. And there's still another 4 shots per team to go. So here's another 2 shots per team.
For the next competition shot, Lord. Start.
.7.
Such a significant lead,
It separates
especially,
these two teams.
especially for finals of this level, this degree. And these, I mean, these guys are juniors, but they're eventually going to be in that open category. What gems for Korea to have coming into their team.
This is it, and especially on a stage like this, the World Championships in their home country. It's been 40 years since the World Championship was held here. It was in Seoul last time, it's in Changwon this time round. And this Korean crowd are really, I'm sure, going to show their appreciation for their shooters in front of them.
Quite the celebration after.
It's
I'm
nice though,
assuming,
isn't it,
yeah.
when the home nation does well in a tournament like this, because I think it rallies everybody else as well. You just feed off the energy and the
Feels
excitement.
So good.
So here we have it then, into the
The
final
two.
of this final, the last 2 shots. The crowd start to clap along,
Yeah.
as with modern practice really in shooting these days. It's become commonplace.
Wow. Korea Team 1 with that 10-4. Korea Team 2 with 9-3. I think it's really just, it's been decided.
And sometimes this is what happens in shooting. It can go down to the last shot. Sometimes it's a foregone conclusion. And do you know what? It was looking likely. We did look at the world record earlier, didn't we? At 480.7, which was set by Anton Aristakov and Ayana Ena of the Russian Federation. That was set in February earlier on this year in Hungary. But it's a new junior world record as well for Korea Team 1. Very impressive indeed. And to do that on their home turf as well, 483.0 for Korea Team 1. That's Shu Ganun and Song Yoon-ho
So
take
exciting.
the gold medal. There's a silver medal going to Korea for Korea Team 2, Yu Han-yong and Im Ho-jin. If you have just joined us and you've just missed the final, you can always watch it back on our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook as well, on Twitter and Instagram, and also look for the hashtag ISSF. Also on Chinese media, Youku and Weibo for exclusive content and interviews with the Chinese athletes so far this week at the World Championships. So as the medalists just line up, here they are in front of you. And it's a new world record as well of 383, a very impressive afternoon. The bronze medal winners are being announced at the moment. And that was India Team 1, Chaudhry Saurabh and Anirba Ashok Patil taking the bronze medal.
Silver medal representing the Republic of Korea.
It's another medal for Korea this week, and it's Korea Team 2, who are 9.9 behind their compatriots, but still a silver medal. And also Im Ho-jin adds his silver to his silver at the Junior World Cup, which he took in Seoul earlier on this year. And then the gold medal, a gold medal for the home nation. You can't ask for more than that. Shu Ga-eun and Song Yoon-ho take the gold medal and a new junior world record of 483. Well, what a final and what a conclusion to day 3. Thank you very much for your company this afternoon. My name is Rory McAllister. I'll be back again throughout these World Championships. Thank you very much to my guest as well, Lexi Lagan of USA Shooting. Thank you very much for your insight.
This was really exciting
this afternoon, and thank you very much for coming along. That's it for today then. We're back tomorrow for day 4. We'll be on air from 10:45 for the 10-metre air rifle mixed team junior. So from me, Rory McAllister, everyone here at ISSF TV at the end of day 3. We'll see you tomorrow, and we wish you farewell.
The bronze medals go to India. Abhidya Ashok Patil and Chaudhry Saurabh. The silver medals go to the Republic of Korea, Team 2. Yu Yuanyong and Im Ho Jin. And the gold medals go to the Republic of Korea, Team 1. With a new junior world record, it's Xu Gaoun and Song Yuenho. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the Republic of Korea.
모두 자리에서 일어나 주시기 바랍니다. 대한민국의 국가 연주가 있겠습니다.
So congratulations again to the winners of the 10-meter air pistol mixed team junior event. India, the Republic of Korea team 2 and the Republic of Korea team 1.
여러분 10m 공기권총 혼성팀 주니어 종목의 메달 수상자들에게 다시 한번 뜨거운 박수로 축하해 주시기 바랍니다.
We are now pausing for some photographs to be taken.
수상자들의 사진 촬영이 있겠습니다.